Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Junk Food Zombie channel. So in my last video, I briefly mentioned that I wanted to make a video for you guys explaining to you where I've been because it was like 9 months in between videos. So I'm going to do as good a job as I can to make this as concise as possible. Those of you who watch me regularly know I have a hard time not going when I speak, but I'm going to try to do what I can to keep it concise. But it is a subject very important to me and near and dear to my heart, so if you're interested in knowing what's been going on, bear with me. I'm going to do what I can to keep it as short as possible. For those of you who aren't interested and you're just here for gun stuff, you don't have to watch. I understand. I'm not going to force you to watch, but some people, maybe 3 or 4 of you out there, might want to know what's been going on. So it's kind of a combination of a couple things, but I'm going to get the basic one out of the way first. Life is getting in the way with a lot of things. I'm a very busy person as far as like my schedule and what I do. I go to work in the morning. It's early. The sun's not up yet. I get out of work just before dinner. I get home just before dinner. So it's a relatively long, it's not an 8-hour day. It's longer than that. And a couple days during the week, I get home, I change, clean myself up, and I'm back out the door for 2, 3, 4 hours because I have activities that my son does a couple days a week, and then we come home and it's 8 something at night or 8:30 at night. We try to slam a quick, grab food on the way home and eat real quick, and then everybody gets to bed. So that's a couple nights of my week. The other couple nights of my week, we might have a night where I get home and we just eat dinner, and then we got a couple hours before bedtime, so we just have a couple hours to relax as a family. Sometimes we have things we got to do. We got to go to the store. We got to pick up stuff. So that's a good portion of the week. Fridays, a lot of the videos you guys see me do when I'm going to the range or I'm at the range, a lot of those videos were done on Fridays. Fridays, through a good portion of the year, I have no work on Fridays. But during the busy season for my job, I work a lot of Fridays, at least half the Fridays or more. So I'm very often working 2 to 3 Fridays a month. So that makes it harder for me to get to the range to do videos. So during those times of the year, a lot of times you'll see me do more videos from home. And then we have Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday, we generally try to run all of our errands that we don't have time to do during the week, so that generally puts a good half or more of Saturday out of the way, and then you have Saturday evening, and then we try to keep Sundays free. And during those 2 days, we try to spend as much time together as a family. So I try to keep my YouTube videos from intruding too much into my family life. So pardon me if I say I'm kind of coming up with this as I go along. So that's part of it. Just life kind of gets in the way. I'm just a busy person. I'm trying to figure out ways to budget my time in a more efficient manner to try to be able to do maybe some shorter videos for you guys, but that's another subject. So the main part of it here, the big one, why has it been so long since I've been showing you new guns or more shooting or whatever? Well, another thing is I've actually filmed probably a couple hours of footage between then and now for like 4 or 5 different videos, and after watching it, I wasn't really happy with it. And I have even though I'm real low budget, guys, from the day I started this like 5 years ago, I still do everything on my camera, on my phone. And my editing is done on my phone. I don't have lighting. I don't have special cameras. I'm low tech, low budget kind of thing. I just try to keep the quality of my content up and offer you what I can, what I feel will be useful and valuable to you guys, or sometimes just entertaining. So I'm on a strict budget, so I can't buy guns all the time, and I can only buy so much ammo. And recently, let me go back in time a little bit. So like I said, bear with me. When I was younger, in 2000, I've been playing guitar. I've been playing guitar for a very long time, since the mid-90s. And in 2000, I joined a band. I was in a heavy metal band, for about 6.5 years, close to 7 years. And it was a great time. I made some really good lifelong friends out of it. And it was wonderful. But as those things often do, we kind of went our separate ways. And after that, I got married. Now, during that time, I was playing my guitar a lot. And I was becoming a pretty solid guitar player. We practiced a couple times a week, a couple days a week, which was, hours at a time. I would be there for 4 6 hours or more sometimes. And then we would practice, with a couple breaks in between. And then we had dozens of shows. We probably played upwards of 50, 60, 70, I'd say 70 shows would be a safe bet over that time. We didn't have like a rigorous show schedule. We did, over the course of 6.5 years or so, we did play a lot of shows. So I was playing literally hundreds of band practices and thousands of hours worth of playing between practices and shows and excuse me, and practicing at home. So I went from someone who was playing guitar for 8-10 hours a week sometimes to maybe 2 hours a month. So after I got married and I moved away, my guitar was there. I was working away from home. I never really had time to touch it. And then when I was home, I wanted to spend time with my wife. And then I didn't play my guitar nearly as much as I wanted to. And I've always been a practical person, but I've always been a very creative and artistic person at the same time. And I was always pretty good at balancing those. But the last decade of my life, I've really become very practical. And my creative side, I've kind of pushed it to the side. And that, I think over these few years, it's really starting to weigh on me inside. I think it's been hurting my soul, to be honest, to be put my heart on my sleeve for you guys. And I really decided I wanted to start playing again. Obviously, doing the band thing with my life the way it is not really much of an option right now. I'd love to maybe get together with some guys and just jam and have fun once in a while, but being in a serious band, really probably not an option at the moment. Maybe it's something I consider later, but right now, not really. So what I really want to do is just play my guitar a lot, but I want it to be creative and not just sit in the bedroom and play. So I really wanted to get into recording. We recorded an album and a demo back in the day, and it's really nice to get your ideas down. I've got a bunch of ideas on little audio files and notebook paper. And I was like, you know what? I need to get this stuff put together and really start writing songs and record them. It's a lot easier to record and make a little home studio nowadays than it was way back then. Back then, the equipment was larger. It was more expensive. Nowadays, you can get by with a lot less. So what I decided to do, because I'm on a very limited budget, was I had to kind of take the money that I was spending on firearms and ammunition and kind of push that to the side because I needed some equipment. Those of you not familiar with it, you need a computer. We needed a computer. My wife works on a computer, so we needed a computer anyway as a backup in case hers, craps out on her. So we invested in a computer. Macs aren't cheap, but they're good quality stuff, and they got good recording software. Right now I'm working with GarageBand. I want to get Logic, but that program is $200, so we need to budget for that. You need a audio interface and a good set of headphones. Some studio monitors would be good, but they're on the expensive side and don't really have the money right now. I've got my stereo hooked up. You can't see it. I think it's out of frame, but I've got a couple of old Bose speakers, and Bose speakers are great home audio speakers. Probably not great for audio recording, but I have it hooked up to that so I can use them to get an idea of what stuff sounds like. And microphones. I need a couple microphones, microphone stands, some cables. That's kind of a basic setup. That's what you need to get set up. So it's not an exorbitant amount of money, but it's a good chunk of change. So that money that I would normally have spent on ammo and other firearms related stuff, I kind of had to budget this way because we don't have a ton of money. I don't make money from YouTube. To be honest, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I recently got my first check from YouTube. It was like $500. And looking at my analytics online, I make like between $10 and $15 a month on YouTube. So, and you don't get a check until you have at least $100. So I might have to wait 8 months in between checks to get $100-something check. So money is not coming in from YouTube. So I can't really fund my channel on YouTube money. And I know a lot of people like to do Patreon, and I absolutely understand the people who do. I think that's a really good idea for larger channels like InRange. I don't know if you guys watch InRange with Ian from Forgotten Weapons and Carl. fantastic channel, and for them to kind of be free of needing YouTube money, especially with demonetization going on with gun channels, you guys know all about that. Patreon's really good for them because they get a lot of donors. Even if you only donate $1 or $2, they still make enough to fund that channel. I'm not, number one, I don't like begging for money. I don't like asking for money. You guys know that. And I'm too small, really. I mean, I might have a handful of people who decide, you know what, I really like this guy, and I'm going to throw him a couple bucks a month, you know, but I can't see that bringing me more than probably, you know, $50 or less a month. So I don't really know that it's even worth even trying. And like I said, I really have this, something inside me always makes me like itch thinking about asking for money. So I've always really kind of pushed that Patreon thing to the side. So as far as money for the channel and in my life, everything comes from my income and my wife's income, and that's it. We don't like asking people for money. So that's where I'm at. And when I was younger and I was playing guitar and I had 1 or 2 jobs and I didn't have huge responsibilities and bills and a family, I was able to buy myself a guitar pretty often. Every year I'd buy myself a guitar, maybe 2 guitars. I never bought expensive guitars. Everything I bought was in like $400 to $700 range. Pretty much everything. And I got some solid guitars that I bought. Almost everything was always used. It doesn't often make sense to buy a brand new guitar. But I had solid guitars, but I never really bought myself anything nice. And I decided after 12 years of not buying myself a guitar, I wanted to get something nice. And what I wanted was a little more expensive than I thought. Probably about twice as expensive as what I thought. And I happened to come across a used version of an even more expensive version of what I wanted, but it ended up costing about what I would have spent if I bought the normal version. So I saved a good chunk of money having something that's really kind of unique and really exquisitely beautiful. But it was still not cheap. It's an expensive guitar. I did finance it. I am paying it, paying it off. But it's been so long that I thought it'd be nice to finally buy myself a nice guitar. And it's something that's so nice that I'll have it till the day I leave this earth, and then it will be left to my son. So it's an investment in my mind, and it's just it's beautiful. I've kind of fell in love with it when I really liked it when I saw it, but when I plugged it in and played it, I was like, man, I've never played anything that sounded like this guitar. It sounded that good. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm kind of gushing over that guitar, and it really is exquisite. So anyway, that's where I'm at. The last thing I want to say is, if you read the description to my channel, it mentions, and this has been the description since day one, like 5 years ago, however long it was I started my channel, since day one, my channel description was that this is a firearms-based channel, but I will also have videos of my other interests like off-roading and guitars and motorcycles. And I never really did any of that. I got a couple off-roading videos that I did with the Land Cruiser, but for the most part, I've done, I think, 100 videos at this point, and like 97 of them are gun and reloading stuff, firearms-related stuff. So what I want to do is, it's awesome if you guys click like and share the video and all that, but on this video specifically, what I really appreciate you guys doing is just take a minute and comment below and just let me know if you're interested in this other stuff. Are you interested in seeing some of my guitars and amps? That's another thing. I had to buy a couple amps. I had one of my practice amp took a crap on me and I needed to replace it, and then I got a good deal on a nice tube amp. And that YouTube check I got did pay for a nice amp. That is kind of like something from when I was younger that I always wanted and was never able to get, and I managed to find one. So that was kind of cool. But are you guys interested in seeing this at all? You guys might be like, I don't care. Just show me the gun stuff. Shut up about all this other stuff. Now, granted, it's my channel. I'm going to do what I want. I just kind of want to get a consensus of what you guys are thinking. So just take the 30 seconds, please, for me, and let me know what you think. Are you interested in seeing this? I've got other interests besides just guitars and guns. Are you interested in seeing this other stuff, or you just want to see the gun stuff? And then I'll take that into account when I make my decision on to how often I put this other stuff in there. I don't want to bore everybody, but if it's something you're not interested in, you can always skip that video because another gun video is coming soon. So just let me know. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate every one of you guys that watch my channel regularly. Even if I can count you on like 2 hands, you guys are part of the reason I'm doing this, and the people who stumble onto my other videos and it helps them and they make comments saying that, you know, it was a helpful video. That's the other reason I do this. I'm just trying to help people and maybe entertain them along the way. So I really do appreciate every one of you guys. I really do. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be doing this, because I sure as hell don't do it for the money, and I don't do it for the fame, because if I could get one YouTube award, it would be slowest growing channel in YouTube history. So anyway, guys, other than that, I do have a video that I want to do coming up soon, and it's gonna be another video where I'm talking in the house, because it's a firearms related video. I think it's an important topic, and I think it's something that people far too often overlook or don't think about. And it's just one of those things where I need to tell people something, and maybe they don't want to hear it, but I think it would benefit people and give them something to think about. So without being too vague and leaving you on a little cliffhanger there, that's about it. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time, if you have. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.